What's your question?
How much shopping can I fit in there?
About an eighth of what you're used to.
I have room. I have so much room behind me. So much room.
Welcome back to DONSLIFE. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining today. Several months ago, I told you that I was going to do a test on the Corvette C8 to get rid of the crazy amount of brake dust that accumulates. I just washed the car and look at that. This is driving home from the car wash. That's brake dust. Now, I use these wheels in the winter. Yes, they're white, so they show the brake dust more than normal, but Corvette C8s are notorious for accumulating and producing just a ridiculous amount of brake dust. So I'm hoping to remedy that today. We're going to install these high performance ceramic brake pads on the front. We got a pair designed for the back. They're for the Z51 trim level on my Corvette C8. And I'm gonna put them to the test on a road trip and just see if we can cut down on this brake dust and keep these wheels a little cleaner. Let's go. So before we get started with the install, which is actually pretty straightforward, I've already disconnected the battery to get a head start on things. We'll talk about some of the benefits that C8 owners talk about that install these brake pads. So other than just keeping my wheels clean, which is the primary reason that I picked these up, we're also going to experience quieter braking. That's right, less squeaking, which C8s are also known for, as well as the pedal feel is supposed to be better. They're going to be longer lasting pads. They're also gentle on the rotors. And if we put them at a high speed or high temp situation, they should experience less fade resistance. So just some extra considerations when you look at the different parts that are available from Hawk Performance. These are for the Z51 package, which I mentioned in the beginning. These are also to be used with the stock or equivalent steel rotors. Even though these front ones are ceramic, they're designed for steel rotors. That's very important. And after they're installed, we're going to have to make sure that we bed them properly, but don't worry, that's going to be a big part of this video, is the road trip, the before and the after, so you can see how these things perform. So we're going to start with the back wheel because those are the easiest ones to do. I got the pad sitting down there on the floor already. We just need to jack up the back end, pull the wheel off, and then I'll show you how to install the brake pads. It's going to be really quick. If it takes me 10 minutes, I'd be surprised. All we need to do is back out these pins. So I got a punch here, get them started. I don't want to scratch the paint. There's these springs here, release the tension and pull out the pin. That's one. Second one will be easier. Done. We'll pull the rear pad out first. Pull the front one out. Now you might need to compress the pistons. That's what this tool is for. Really easy to use. Just figure out the spacing. You put it in here like that. When you pull the trigger, it will press the pistons back in. I'll link this in my video description. Here's the pads we're using for the rear. They're a ferrocarbon compound, low dust, for street performance. They're a little bit different engineering than the front pads. They're still supposed to have plenty of the benefits, including low dust, like the front ones. Now these are identical, so you can't really put them in the wrong way. Just make sure the pad is facing the rotor. You want to put some high temperature brake grease just on the sides here. Just a little bit goes a long way. On the other side. The back one first. Slides right in. Just kind of have it ready to go for the pins. And the next one. Now I just want to lubricate the pins a little bit where I know they'll pass through. Just getting it started. This is super easy. Just put the first pin through, line it all up. Right there, you can see it popping through. And then this one I'll have to push down on it while I feed it through. The pin is right there. Now we just need to seat the pin. So I'm using this because it creates a bit of a space between the caliper and the actual pin so I can't damage the paint. That one's in. That one's in. So that's done. Well, there, the back's done. We've got a head start on the front. You saw how easy the back was. The front is just a little bit different. You have to jack up both sides of the car because we're going to need to be able to turn the wheel like this so we can access some bolts on the back of the caliper. I'll explain as we get that far, but for right now it's up in the air. I've already busted the bolts loose so we can take off the wheel and then we'll get started. So in this one here, we don't have pins that we can release easily. So instead, we have to undo these two bolts and take the caliper off. It's actually not that hard, but that's why we have to turn the wheel so we can get some access, because these are torqued to 160 pounds. Now I have a little stool here, so I can lay this down and not have to worry about scratching it or undoing the brake line. So there, that's laid down. Now we just want to wiggle the pads out. They're on the pins at the bottom there, pin on each side. You can pry them out with your hands usually. You reach from underneath. That's one. And that's another. Simple to install again. A little grease on the sides. Now these ones I will put it near the holes, because they're a little harder to get to. We'll do this side first. You have to push down a bit to get the spring to move. Now if we're lucky, this will go right on there. We won't have to compress the pistons. We are lucky. Grab our top bolt and line it up. Our bottom bolt. Cinch them up with our impact tool. While we're here, I'm going to replace these mud flaps with some different ones. Of course, we're going to go carbon fiber. Now we got to torque these to 160 pounds. Well, there you go. You saw the procedure. I already did the other side off camera, so everything's on the ground, torqued, ready to go. We just need to connect the battery, reset the brake pad life, make sure we do the bed-in procedure, and then we should be good to go for our road trip and see how much brake dust these accumulate, and I'm hoping it's a lot less than before. So joke's on me. I actually had to consult my scan tool just to be sure there was no brake life reset procedure for the Corvette C8. There isn't one. I was confused with my truck. Oh well, that just means one less thing to do. The most critical step out of all that install was disconnecting the battery and then reconnecting it at the end. That way it was trouble-free. As for the brake pad bedding in instructions, Hawk Performance has a list of things to do right here. I'll overlay that on the screen in case you're curious what it entails, but I'll be doing these things prior to my road trip. Well, here we go. We are one day before our road trip. I am bringing the cargo box. That's right, we're bringing the cargo box because I want to test it on a longer than average trip. We're going over 1,000 kilometers. It's going to be strapped to the C8. So you have a cloth there because we are about ready to transport it up onto the C8 and stick it down with those C suckers. Also, we have the low dust brake pads we just installed. So we're going to see if these are in fact low dust. I think they'll be okay. I guess we'll find out. You're awesome.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mrs. DONSLIFE. Ready for a little road trip?
Yes.
How we doing in there?
Good.
First pit stop accomplished. Just gonna do a brake dust check. Front wheel looks pretty good. Back looks good. Roof rack sticking on well. It's pretty good. A little bit of road dust, but usually it's a lot worse. You're not dancing. Pit stop number 2. How we doing?
This is pit stop. This is the one that counts.
Yeah, you got your Starbucks.
Got my
What do you
Starbucks.
got? Triple venti.
Triple venti, lots of sugar.
You're pretty sweet on your own.
I know.
What's your question?
How much shopping can I fit in there?
About an eighth of what you're used to.
I have room. I have so much room by my feet. So much room.
Good morning, everybody. Look how beautiful it is outside. Not really that beautiful, but speaking of beautiful, we do have Mrs. DONSLIFE over here. How was shopping yesterday?
It was amazing.
Yeah, amazing
No.
for you.
It wasn't amazing.
Shopping for ladies' clothes is not amazing. So we cut all of that out. We cut out the whining and dining, but we are here in Edmonton. We wanted to hit a Cars and Coffee before our way home. Remember, we're on a road trip to make sure these brake pads are in fact low dust. So far, I'm pretty impressed. They're doing a good job. We also have the roof box or the cargo box on there. Not only full of Mrs. DONSLIFE shopping, but we wanted to test to make sure we didn't have any problems with it on a longer road trip. So far so good. But we are going to do our part, and we are going to stop by a Cars and Coffee in rainy Edmonton where it is just above freezing right now. So either way, we're going to do our part. We are troopers. We are going to show our sign of support and go over to the Cars and Coffee, or the South Common Cars and Coffee. But first, we need to get something to keep Mrs. DONSLIFE going, and that is Starbucks.
Yes, we need to go to Starbucks.
You heard her. Let's go.
Again, thank you so much for coming out this morning. Enjoy the cars, enjoy the coffee, enjoy the donuts, and enjoy the camaraderie of everyone here who loves everything automotive.
Oh, Mrs. DONSLIFE doing one more store trip before we leave town. Well, I have a confession to make. We have a cargo box problem, but it's more of a this guy problem. So I had to pull over on the side of the highway because we were driving like that. That's right, we were driving with this wide open, and believe it or not, this bag, this box of shoes for Mrs. DONSLIFE, God forbid we lose that. I would never live it down. Mrs. DONSLIFE's life in a sack right there, and then my life in a sack, which is cleaning supplies for the car. We were driving and this was wide open. It popped open because I forgot to lock it. Now she's locked. But we also noticed a small problem This right here has a little bit of flex. See how this can open up? So if you get too much air in there, you're going at a passing speed. It might add a little extra pressure. So we got some duct tape. We are going to pinch the nose down with some duct tape because we're not going to open this again for the next 5 hours on the highway. So as a precaution, I'm just going to put some duct tape there. That's just what I want to do. I think it'll be okay without it, but why chance anything? So we are going to tape that up and hit the road. And I will admit, this isn't your typical brake dust video, but we've done a lot. We've done like 5 days of video in one short YouTube video for you. I have to tell you, honestly, this is like 95% better. I noticed the back pads aren't quite as effective as the front, but they are still low dust compared to stock. I'm not sure why the rear pads aren't available in the same composition as the front pads, but overall I'm pretty happy. I'd say these are about 85% better. These are like 95% better. Well, we made it home in one piece, over 1,000 kilometers back and forth. Happy to say the brake dust game is in good shape, and that's what we were hoping for. So would I recommend Hawk Performance brake pads for the C8 Corvette? And this is not a sponsored video. Yes, I would. They definitely make a big difference compared to the stock brake pads that came with the Z51 package on the Corvette C8. And also the custom makeshift cargo box for the C8 survived as well. A little bit of duct tape was needed, but all in all it was pretty good. And don't forget to lock those things, it's important. But on that note, it's been a busy couple days. If you like this video, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing, and we'll talk to you next time.